Say amen, amen. Say amen. La 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 la. Amen. Amen. Our lives go better. Oh. Amen. Family go better. Oh. Amen. Everything go better. Oh. We go better. Oh. We go better. Oh. Amen. 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 Your life go better. Oh. Our lives go better. Oh. Family go better. Oh. Amen. Everything go better. Oh. Amen. We go better. Oh. Amen. We go better. Oh. Amen. 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 Woo! Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to another edition of Marriage Clinic Live. How are you today? I remain your host, Marlaya and Oputi. Thank you so much for joining us today for another edition of Marriage Clinic Live. I'm super excited to be here today to stream this particular video. I'm so grateful to God for life because the honest truth is suddenly we have come to the end of the half year of 2021. We know how we started the year. We know a lot that has happened between January and now, the month of June ending. A lot has happened. And for you to be alive, it's a privilege. I mean, it's a big privilege. It's not a right. It's by His grace, it's by His mercies that we all could see today. So we are grateful for life. I thank God for my life, for the life of everyone around me, the life of every member of Marriage Clinic as well, that we are alive, we are well. It's a big privilege. So I want you in your own closet to give thanks to God. It's very important. If you wake up saying each day, just know that it's a privilege. Okay, so I would like to quickly appreciate and welcome all our new joiners. I celebrate you all during the week. We had so many people joining us. Thank you so much for always joining us at Marriage Clinic. In fact, people now join us in thousands. I mean, in thousands every week. And even on our YouTube channel, I thank everyone who also joined during the week. I think we had close to 9 new people joined us. Thank you so much for subscribing to our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining us on our Marriage Clinic group as well on Facebook. Please feel free to drop me a comment. Let me know what you think, what you're going through. Just share your experiences, and I'm sure I'll be willing and glad to reach out to you. So, like I said, a lot has happened between January and now. I was ruminating over what exactly should we talk about today, and I realized that taking stock over the last 6 months, I realized that there is still a lot of work to be done. There is still a lot that we need to do regarding this institution called marriage. There is still a lot of work to be done because each time that there is no day actually that I don't get a case from people. People will always send me cases, and at times when I finish reading those cases for the next 2 hours, I will lose and I will lose my excitement. I will just be like, God, is this really happening? What is this world turning to? What is society becoming? I will just start asking myself several questions. My spirit will just keep, indicting on the matters like what is going on. And that brought me to the topic of today that says that you can't be beating the drums of war and expect peace in your marriage. You cannot be beating the drums of war in your marriage and expect to experience peace. Excuse me. How do you think that is ever going to happen? Because all you keep doing in that marriage is that you are beating the drums of war, and you are expecting that, oh, what will reign in that kind of an environment is peace. I tell you, you are not going to have it. Why? Because your action, your behaviors, your words, Your disposition in the marriage is always calling for war. It's never calling for peace. So if everything you do in that marriage is calling for war, then I tell you, you may not, I don't think you will experience peace. I mean, a lot has happened. I guess so many cases. For example, I think during the week, someone was sharing with me how our husband went to our place of work with policemen to arrest our boss at work. And they got our boss at work arrested. Now, don't forget, that is where she earns salaries from. That is where she works. But the husband went there, got the boss arrested, cooked up, lies and false allegation that the boss at work is the one that kidnapped his wife and his children, and that is why he couldn't have access to them. And you know what? This case became so messy that at the end of the day, he now realized that wow, he shouldn't have gone through that route, because the same woman he is now sending people to beg on his behalf that, oh, we should beg the wife on his behalf to come back home. The same woman is saying never. I don't think I want to go back home. Why? Because for that kind of a man to take police to arrest my boss, that means he doesn't wish me well. That means he wants me jobless, because my boss could have come out of that cell and issue me a sack letter. A lot happens. And for me, I can't imagine how a man, a grown up man, would think that the best way to handle a situation was to go get policemen to arrest, his wife. I've also heard of a case where a husband arrested his in-laws, his wife's parents, with police. See, you can't be doing that and expect that you will experience a blissful marriage and a peaceful marriage. Now, another example, during the week again, a lady reached out and said, Ma, look at what is happening. This man beats me. In fact, when she sent me the picture of the scar on her arm, I was like, what? Is this teeth? Is this resulting from a teeth bite? She said yes. And he also pulled off her ears, that she sustained some injuries. And I'm like, no, this can't be happening. This cannot be marriage. This cannot be marriage, because the marriage that I know that God handed over to us, it's a union of love. It's a synergy of love. It's meant to forestall unity, peace, harmony. Ah, not what we are seeing today, husband and wife at loggerheads, at war with each other. Each one keep beating the drums of war, and they still expect that the marriage will still be, cool, cozy, and blissful. All will be well. No, things will fall apart. Another example is cheating spouses. You cheat a lot. You cannot stick with your partner. You go about sleeping around. When that is happening, I tell you, don't expect that the one you are cheating on that you put at home would smile at you or receive you with a loving arms when you come back. Now check yourself. What is it that you are doing that shows that you are calling for war in that marriage? What is it that you are doing? A lady was sharing how the husband, at every slighted provocation, will abuse her, will abuse her mother, will abuse her father, abuse her sibling. He will send curses to all her family lineage. See, you can't be doing that and expect to have a successful marriage or a successful home. It's not going to happen, because the seeds that you are sowing, the seeds of action that you are sowing in that marriage, is not calling for peace, it's not calling for unity, it's not calling for harmony, it's not calling for love. what your actions, your behaviors, and character in that marriage is calling for is war. Simply war. You are telling that partner, I'm at war with you. I'm at loggerhead with you. I detest you. When that is your attitude towards the other person, when that is your disposition, I tell you, you will reap storms. That is what you will reap because that is simply what you are sowing. So I want people to think very well. I mean, again, during the week, a lady reached out and she was talking about how she works in another state and her husband works in another state. And she was complaining about him cheating. And I was like, excuse me, so what do you expect? You stay put in another state. You left your husband in another state and you're telling us that he's cheating. You've already set up yourself for that. You should know that the tendency for cheating to happen in your union or in your marriage is high. The probability that cheating will occur is very high. Why? Because the foundation that you have laid is the type that will promote it, that will make it happen. Because when husband and wife don't live together, when you guys are operating a distant marriage, distant relationship, and it's running like that for months, for years, excuse me, this body can be very powerful. It will call for it. And when it calls for it, then the thoughts of going out there to get it anyhow or somehow with anyone who is available and not necessarily your spouse, that thought will start coming. Except you know God, except you have the fear of God on your inside. And even if you do, it's not enough reason for you to leave your spouse in one state and you are in another state. You said you are working. No, that is not healthy. That is not good. That is not safe for your relationship. It's better for both of you to be together. And if you have to spend time apart, maybe due to work, it should be for a while and both of you will come back together again. And not that, oh, that is the trend, that is the norm, that is your own normal. Then I tell you, abnormal things will happen. So many things, so many things, so many things. I don't know. Um, I'm trying to still recollect so many things. A wife that before you were married, your spouse or your partner told you that, come, see, I have a child outside of wedlock. And you agreed, you consented to it. You were like, okay, fine, you told me, I'm aware. And both of you went ahead with that marriage. On getting into the marriage, you now take that same child as your enemy. You do things to that child that calls for war. You keep beating the drums of war around the boy or around the girl. You show it to them that you hate them, that you don't like them, that you don't like the fact that they are around you, and you expect your spouse to come smiling with you. No, please, no, no, you can't be doing that. And you expect that your partner, we see you as someone who is good, someone that I can be fond of, someone that I want to fall in love with over and over again. No. See, those actions that you are showing, those actions that you are exhibiting will determine if that partner wants to endear his or herself to you the more, or they want to gradually pull apart. There are some things you will do in marriage to your partner that it will naturally make them repel you. It will naturally make them start growing a sense of resentment for you. They will gradually start falling out of love with you. And before you know it, that is why you hear some partners say, his love is no more in my heart. Our love is no more in my heart. See, that is what happened. It's not a day happening. It's the happening of several weeks, several months. It's the accumulation of a lot of misdeeds, a lot of drums of war that you've been beating in the marriage that is leading to that storm that you're experiencing right now. Another one is the case of I think a woman who is fond, she doesn't work, who is fond of being a spendthrift. She doesn't work. The husband is working, laboring, and this man will give you out of his money, for upkeep and all of that, and you will now use the same money to go and do something different from what he asked you to do. You now use it maybe for ashwebi, for partying. You take the same money, you borrow it to your family members without his consent. Or is it the one that will go to the husband, the spouse's wardrobe, take their things without asking for permission? Now, for that one, I believe so much in giving. Whatever it is that I'm not using personally, I give it out because I don't believe in keeping things for the next generation, my children's children, because I believe that the God that I serve is the God of abundance and is more than enough. When the time comes, when I need it, it will show up. So if I don't need it currently, then there's really nothing it's doing with me. I give it out. In a situation whereby you don't need it, you are keeping it there, storing it there, and perhaps maybe the man or the woman is saying, oh, let's give this out, and you're adamant. Well, if they go behind you and give it out, oh well and good, because they are trying to also let you know that, see, let this thing go. You are a man, you impregnate a woman in marriage, and after impregnating her, you are now treating her with disdain. You don't want to care for her in pregnancy. Even after the delivery of the child, not even one diaper did you supply. On the day of delivery, you are nowhere to be found. The hospital bills, you don't know how it was paid. I hear a lot and I'm like, God, when will all of this cease in marriages? Because this is not the kind of marriage that you ordained for mankind. Because people now take marriage as it's a place where anything goes. It's a place where you can do anything. I mean anything and get away with it. A man will not go out there and be beating another man out there and expect that they won't beat him back. But in marriage, you come, you beat your wife very well. And you will expect that, oh, nothing is going to happen. Now, all of that happens in marriage. You go out there, you borrow money, you don't return it, they will come after it. But in marriage, you borrow money, you don't return it. You will even use Ogboju, like, excuse me, how much is the money that you borrowed me that you're even making noise? What? That happens a lot in marriage. It is not good. Let us not hide under this umbrella of marriage to commit atrocities, to steal, to cheat, to lie, to collect things that is not yours from the other person, to deprive others of their rights. Is not good, because I see a lot happening in marriage. In the name of marriage, people do all sorts, and they feel that because it's happening in marriage, it's fine. Hey, I want you to fear God. Or is it the caliber of men that will sit at home idle? I mean, idle. They are practically not doing anything because they believe that they cannot work under somebody, yet you can eat under somebody. Now they will tell their spouse, oh, I don't believe in working for someone. I don't believe in working for someone. I want to own my business. Excuse me. Do you even have the skills, the knowledge, the wherewithal that can support a profitable business? What skill do you have? What resource do you have that will guarantee us that even if you start a business, that business will prosper? Because you've not taken out time to go and learn under somebody and test those skills that you have to really see whether your values, your character, your actions, your belief can support and grow a business sustainably. You've not tested out all those things. You are just adamant. You're like, you can't work under somebody, but you're eating under somebody because see that your spouse is feeding you without you raising a finger. You don't go to work, you don't you don't do anything, yet you are eating. Please fear God. You are beating the drums of war. All these things that we do indirectly in marriage are the signs of beating the drums of war. You neglect your spouse, you neglect your children, you neglect even the things that make them happy, the things that gives them joy. You don't want to hear about it. You know that this woman, what makes her happy, what makes her excited, what gives her joy is for her to wake up every day and go out to go to work or go and do something, maybe business wise, but the same woman you will cage her at home in the name of man and say, you're not going anywhere. Hey, see, you can't be doing that and you like expect that that woman will not fight back. A time will come, she'll be like, no, this is not me. Another thing I want us to know as couples in marriage is that, see, marriage is deep because many of us we tend to think that marriage is about this body that we are seeing. You know, we tend to believe, oh, let's just do it anyhow. But you've forgotten that you, as an individual, you are first of all a spirit. You are just living in a body. Now, anything, and I mean anything, any relationship, any association that you find yourself in that corrupts your spirit, that makes your spirit man uncomfortable, that makes your spirit man retarded, it's not growing. I tell you, it's not good for you. Even if it's marriage, when it's toxic and your spirit man is fighting, is battling something like, no, this is not my environment. This is not the kind of environment that I can thrive in. Then you need to check it. You both may be beating the drums of war in that marriage because see, your spirit man should break forth. It should be alive when you are in a peaceful union, when you are in a blissful marriage. Your spirit man should break forth. And let's practice fidelity, purity. You know, all this idea of sleeping around. May God deliver us because a lot is happening. People just see their bodies as anything goes. At times, I'm like, I can't even imagine it because I'll be like, the Holy Spirit in me will run away. As they will quench the fire of God's Spirit in me. If I try to, if I eh, try sleeping around, I will lose my salvation. The Holy Spirit will run away. So those are the see, and when the Holy Spirit run away, the spirit that will come will be unclean spirits. And that is why at times when people come saying, oh, my spouse is an addicted cheat, in my mind I'm like, they must have come in contact with some ladies that have transferred demons into them. Because see, when a man or a woman is battling with unclean spirits, you can tell, you can easily tell that something is not right. You can easily tell that something is wrong. So please let's check the beat that we are beating, the kind of music that you are playing. You are a woman, a wife. You are so arrogant to your spouse, so pompous, unsubmissive. You before he says one, you have said 10. Please, there is no way that marriage will survive because the foot you are putting forward is a really wrong foot. You can't be saying 10 when your husband has said one. You should be the type, that will learn to keep quiet and keep mute when your husband is is angry or when he's not pleased. But that is not the time you two would have said, oh, you start shouting. Before you know it, domestic violence starts. Check yourself. Ask yourself, are you beating the drums of war in that marriage? There are so many things that people can do in their marriages that would tell that they are beating the drums of war. You are eating free food as a man. You don't know how the food comes about. You don't want to work. You don't put money down. You are beating the drums of war. Eh? You don't stick to your spouse. You sleep around. And you expect that partner to be calm, to feel safe. No, they won't feel safe because, excuse me, anything can happen. You will contaminate their spirits, you will make them contact STDs in their bodies. Before you know, you will destroy them because of what you are bringing from outside. So, see, there are some things that we do that shows that what you are doing is that you are beating the drums of war. So don't expect peace when that is what you keep doing in your marriage. Don't expect peace when you keep beating the drums of war in your marriage. Check yourself. Think about it. Ask yourself, what is it that I'm doing in this marriage that portrays that I'm beating the drums of war? What kind of music are you playing? What kind of tune are you playing in that marriage that you are showing off or showing forth that will make that partner know that this person that I married is looking for trouble? Let it not be that kind of attitude that will be found in you. Please, a lot is happening in the world today. We need to reflect on our lives. We need to reflect on our journeys. We need to reflect on our union. As a matter of fact, there are some marriages that where you need to do self-assessment, evaluation, reassess it. Assess it, reassess it, and ask yourself, is this good for me? If it's not good for you, check the kind of fruit you both are producing in that marriage. Hey, and when you now have children, watch what you do before them because a lot is happening. And these children will be learning from you, from what you do. And I think I'll be doing another video another time that talks about training a child. It's not the same as training a child for career or preparing them for career. It's not the same. When you are training a child, the question you should be asking yourself is, am I training this child for life? Am I training this child to be prepared for real life? Not sending them to school and saying, I trained him to university level. That is not training. That is just 40% or 30% of the training that child ought to have. Because giving that child education alone, either formal or informal, is not enough to prepare that child for the real world. Because in the real world, a lot will happen that will shake the child, and the child will be asking a lot of questions. If you have not addressed those questions before that child went into real life, I tell you, some other people will try to answer the questions for him or for her in a manner that you would not want. So don't let their peers provide the answers to life questions to them. You need to teach them about life. You yourself, do you understand life? Do you know life? You need to see, we need to reflect and ask ourselves all these questions because many of us just live life as it comes. Try and reflect. A lot is happening. We need to keep our home as a peaceful haven. Enough of these drums of war that people are beating you. Keep beating it. You can't keep beating it and expect to experience peace. So I would like to stop here. Please, this is a reflective time for all of us. Let's go and reflect on this. Let's go and reflect on this. You as a husband, reflect. What drums of war are you beating around your wife? You as a wife, please reflect. What drums of war am I beating to my husband? Hey, what drums of war are you beating to that man or to that woman? Check yourself, reevaluate yourself, assess yourself. I would like to stop here now. Please always join us in our conversation. It will be ongoing during the week. I'll keep putting out videos, insightful educational resources out there. Please make it a duty to watch them. Please and please, let's watch these videos. We will learn from them. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. Share these videos. Invite your friends to join our groups, to join in the conversation because they are becoming hotter. Things are happening, and we'll keep sharing them every day so that we all can be aware and we can be on guard, and secure ourselves from this perilous time or this wicked happenings that is going on out there in marriages and in society. I remain your host, Marlaya Han Oputi. Till we meet again, I say bye bye.